start our video, and in this video we're going to go over characters that are good on the new MOC 12. Now the new MOC 12 has a funny gimmick where basically when you attack him, he will instantly kill the character that attacked him last when he gets his 3 marks up, or when you get into the second phase, it's the 2 characters who attack or use their ultimate, and then he'll mark them, and then he'll kill both of them, and you have to break his pods to escape. Now, this enemy is weak to fire, imaginary, and wind, and the pods he summons are also weak to that, so you're going to be wanting using those characters. Now, keep in mind that you have to fight Jeopard at the beginning, so I recommend bringing your other DPSs, like, you can use Jing Lu. She's not, like, the right type for it, but it works. Jing Yun, because everybody's weak to lightning. Use Clara. Pretty much anyone who is not, you're not using on your second team. And don't worry about Jeopard. He's same old Jeopard. He's not hard. Focus your big guns on the second enemy. Now, the second enemy is also weak to dot, because when the pods take dot damage, they also lose a stack. You have to hit them 5 times in order to get your character back. So naturally, Kafka, Black Swan, Sampo, and Gwenifin having dot is going to be really good because they have AoE dot, so it will be able to hit multiple enemies. Black Swan, of course, is the best because Arcana just instantly shreds through them and you have no issue. If you have Black Swan use her, she's pretty much a cheat code for the pods. You still have to defeat the enemy, and he hits really hard. Once he insta-kills an enemy, you have to weakness break him, right? So you want to be using the correct typings. Himiko is good because she can have an AoE ult. She has blast. There's always going to be 3 enemies because it's him, and then the 2 pods are him and the 1 pod. Welt is good because he's imaginary. Bounce can hit multiple enemies. However, bounce hitting the same enemy twice does not count as 2 different attacks, so keep that in mind. It'll only go down once. And then Blade AoEs. Argenti works because AoEs again, and then Topaz because he's weak to fire. Pretty much your goal here is you either have AoEs that you can activate over and over, such as like Argenti with how fast he gets this ult and the fact that most of his attacks are AoEs, or you go for the dot route, or you just go for breaking him, which is why for support Ruin Mei is going to be incredibly good. In my opinion, Fushuan is probably the best here because I never really had to worry about dying when I fought this thing, because you're gonna get into a point of the fight where you need to pick 2 characters that need to die and 2 characters that are kind of holding the lines, and most of the time I would keep Fushuan and whoever my main like, I don't want to say a break unit, like, break the enemy's toughness, but just like whoever's breaking the other 2 out. So for example, I'd probably pick Fushuan and like Black Swan, right, for this, just because Arcana go crazy. Black Swan, it has her blast, she has an AoE ult, she applies dot, so it'd be Fushuan and Black Swan. I let, like, let's just say I'm running, I don't know, Herda and Dr. Ratio. I let them die, right? Because they're not really going to be helping too much. So keep that in mind when fighting it. But Ruin Mei is going to be really good. Bronze is going to be really good because one, when she has a normal attack, they're weak to wind. The pods, when you weakness break them, do explode, so you'll be able to take advantage of that. Asta is going to be pretty good because her E does a lot of toughness damage. Luocha, healing, right? And imaginary, so you get most of that. Bailu will help because Bailu actually lets you take reduced damage when she has duration on you, so that can work. This enemy doesn't really apply debuffs, so you don't have to worry about that. The only debuff is you're dead, break me out. And then Yukon can also be used because when you break a character out, or it goes into the phase of you're picking your 2 units, you get your ults back, so you can use that to either save it to help break someone out. You can use it to damage the enemy, so Yukon wouldn't be too bad here. And the reason I put these 3 in works is because Danheng, to hit multiple enemies, has to use a lot of SP, so if he's him and weather unit is the only unit alive, that might be a little rough. Dr. Ratio is only single target, so you pretty much have to bank on the follow-up attack. And then normal Danheng, while being wind, which is good, is single target as well. And then the reason I put Herda in Sleeper, right, is because I'm not too sure if you get it down below like 2 attacks left, if Herda's follow-up attack will trigger. I didn't test that out, so I just put it in there. If you want to try it out, let me know how it works. But if that works, that could be an option. But really, you're just looking to be able to get your 2 allies back the fastest. This is going to be a rather hard stage to, you know, brute force it if you just like let ults fly. I didn't have too much of trouble with it, but he does hit rather hard. I always had Fushuan, so I wasn't too stressed about it because Fushuan kind of just soaks up all the damage. But losing 2 units can be rather annoying. Now, I do know a lot of people were struggling with floor 11. If you want, let me know in the comments, and I could make a guide on that. This one's pretty straightforward, though. It's just when he has 3 eyes, next unit you attack with, which, to be fair, you can't really pick who that is sometimes, but you'll be fine because it's only 1 pod and you can pretty much just attack into the pod over and over to get your character back pretty fast. But it's pretty much just picking who is going to help your characters out, who's going to keep you alive, and then sacrificing the other 2. The teams I've run personally, I've run the Dot team, which has the best advantage on it. I've run the Dr. Ratio team. I had a video on that, and then I tested it with Donheng. I could have won if I wanted to, but I just backed out of that, so Donheng works. And then I had a Sampo team because I was curious if the bounce worked, and I could have beat it with that because the skill for the Memory of Chaos is pretty helpful. It pretty much, every time you use a skill point, it'll stack up and it'll unleash a attack at the end of it, and that attack, if it hits the pods, will actually take a point off of it. So that will help you out as well. You can get pretty lucky. I've actually had it so where it completely just, you know, hit the middle enemy and then hit the other 2, and I was able to get my characters back pretty quickly, even though I didn't have a Dot character, or I didn't have a bunch of characters who would just attack over and over into it. So that was nice. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any troubles with this boss, and I'll try to help out the best I can. Like I said, these are the teams I recommend. I'm not saying, by the way, that none of these characters are worth. These are just the ones that caught my eye. And like I said, you really want to be using characters that can break the weakness of the enemy. Otherwise, he will keep his 100% attack buff. I believe that's how much it was. And he'll hit pretty hard. If you don't have the right units, you will get swept. It is MOC 12. They do hit kind of hard. And he's going to have quite a bit of HP. But other than that, that's it for the video. Like I said, if you guys are having trouble with MOC 11, I'll make a guide on that if I have to, of who's the best to use. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to like, subscribe for more Star Rail content. If you know that some hype stuff is coming. I won't say what, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But anyways, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.